I always tell this story when I was a kid, man. I don't know how sharp your memory is, but when Nickelodeon back in the day, they had Doug. And Doug was my guy back in the day, man. I used to watch Doug. He used to always come through with the journal, chilling with his dog, pork chop. And, when I was a kid, I had a journal. And, I've always had a passion for sports and writing. I always wanted to be a sports writer. I always wanted to be like Scoop Jackson. He was the man before Stephen A. Smith. And I always envisioned myself being a basketball beat writer. And when I was in high school, I was a sports editor, won third place for having the best sports story in Long Island my senior year. And when I went to Howard, that's kind of where everything pivoted, as far as like my love for sports. It was still high, but I was given the opportunity to explore other avenues, mainly music. And I remember my freshman year, I was looking at for internships, and I remember I saw Vibe. They had a spot open. So I was like on a whim, and my friend hit me up. He's like, yo, why don't you try to intern, see what's up? I ended up hitting them up. Months later, they hit me back. There was only one internship slot left. And they hit me up on a Thursday, the interview for Friday, and the internship start Monday. So lo and behold, I do the internship. And from there, I was connecting my butt off crazy. I always own this because I was timid as hell. That's another thing. When you're young, you're going to be timid. Do not be afraid to ask questions. That was probably one of my biggest downfalls when I was an intern. I was scared to ask questions because I was around 25, 26-year-olds. But, I was able to connect during that time. And from there, I started just freelancing crazy at 19 and started connecting left, right. And you already know, once you start connecting, it's a wrap from there. And I just built my rep up. And I'm thankful to every publication that gave me a chance, Double XL, Complex, Vibe for the internship. And, I just spread my wings from there. BallStatusHipHopGame.com. Those were the dope blogs back in the day when blog eras were crazy. So I salute to all those guys and gals that gave me a chance, man, to get me where I'm at now. No doesn't always mean no. As simple as that adage sounds, because, when we first hear no, whether it's from an entertainer, whether it's from a job, we're first to just get disappointed, put our heads down, and like, oh shit, fuck it, I'm over it. I'm just gonna move on to the next. But no can also mean a new opportunity. No can make you accelerate to go harder, to be like, they might not be interested this time around, but let me put them in my back pocket in case they are open to, whether it's a job, whether it's an interview, whether it's a freelance gig in the future. So don't immediately shut yourself down to just hearing no, because eventually you are going to get that yes. And like you were saying, as far as like just sharpening your skills, try not to be a one-trick pony. I wasn't just a pure writer coming into this. Like, my editing skills were solid, but I came into Billboard as a freelancer, just writing for years. When I came into the position, I was forced to edit. That's part of my job. I'm a hip hop editor. So I learned to sharpen my skills on that front, really become a solid editor, so I can make sure, again, it's all about aligning the skill set, making sure everything is, I'm a 2K head, so making sure everything is an A. So editing, A. Interviewing, A. Writing, A. So always make sure you're polishing up your skills in different areas so you can really be a force to be reckoned with in this game. It took me, 7 years to graduate? And it took me 7 years to graduate because, shout out to Howard University, Queens College, it took me 7 years to graduate because I would cut class to go do interviews. And my professors knew that. You know what I mean? Like, I got an English class, but I got Jadakiss at 11. Which one? So I'm not going to condemn education to say, hey, fuck a degree, you don't need it. It's always good to have that under your belt. But for me, personally, I learned more being in the trenches, being in that field, actually going through X, Y, and Z versus in the classroom. Like, there's certain things that I took with me as far as journalistically, like as far as formatting and everything, like the story, doing leads, 5W. But what we're doing right now is kind of self-taught. You kind of see how like a rap radar used to function in the blog era. And you kind of use that as a template to be like, oh, this is how I want to create my website. This is how I want to create content. So your teachers are not always in the classroom. It could be your peers. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could be like a Nah, right? It could be like a 24/7. Like, it could be the people you look up to in this industry. You just have to take the proper notes, do the due diligence, watch how they move, and incorporate that into your skill set. And boom, you're set to go right then and there. But if you want to go the education route, of course, 100%. But make sure it's 50-50. You're getting your education in the trenches, in the field, because there's a lot of people, as you know, they didn't need school to be where we at right now. You know what I'm saying? And they're doing just fine.